How's everyone doing? Today I have a Blu-ray and DVD collection update with 7 pickups, and if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them and let me know which is your favorite from this bunch. First up is probably one of the weirdest movies I've seen in a long time. I saw a couple clips from it and I was like, yeah, this looks weird, let me check it out. And so I took a chance on it, and I'm kind of glad I did because it's one of those ones that kind of stuck in my mind long after viewing. It was a entertaining watch. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. It was over the top. It's R100, kind of a play on the rating system. It's basically like you won't appreciate it unless you're 100 years old. And the director is Hitoshi Matsumoto, who also did Big Man Japan. Basically, it's about this guy who has a really mundane life, and he joins this kind of S&M club for it's like a year, and basically you can't cancel the membership once you started it. Basically, it's to hire like dominatrixes to kind of different ones. They'll just come out of nowhere in like your everyday life and just, I guess, degrade you and beat you up and all kinds of stuff, which happens, and then an accident occurs and he kind of gets blamed for it with one of the dominatrixes, so they're kind of coming after him, and he has a young kid he has to kind of protect, and then his father-in-law, and then he also has a wife who's in a coma, and it's just just super ridiculous. There's certain scenes that are just, it's laughable though. It's like a mixture of the BDSM, like it's kind of dark comedic elements going on there. There's scenes where like the dominatrix comes and just like starts beating the crap out of him in the middle of the street. People just walking around him. There's a scene at his job too, like another employee there just kind of like in the bathroom just kind of looks at him, just walks away. It's super hilarious to me. It's super offbeat. I felt like they kind of gyp you on certain things too. Like one thing happens, like a euphoric reaction happens when he's getting the crap kicked out of him and degraded. His cheeks kind of puff up and his eyes turn black. It's like this weird euphoric thing. There's like this pulsing circular motion. And then there's certain scenes where they don't show you, like they show you the pulsing motion, like he'll go inside of like a van or behind a fence, and they don't show you what's happening. I was like, come on, you can't gyp us that experience after all the other craziness that's been happening. And they also kind of gypped you towards the end. I wanted more from that scene too. You see the finale shot is like super crazy. I'm like, how did that happen? I want to know what happened in there with the big bad main dominatrix chick. But yeah, there's the one scene that sticks out the most for me is there's a character called the Queen of Gobbling. This is not for everybody. This is a movie that's definitely not just everybody, probably not for most people. But it's also self-aware. There's a scene where they have like critics like screening the movie as it's happening, and that whole part I thought was really funny too. I was able to figure that out like really quickly. I was watching this with somebody that didn't initially get certain things, and I don't know. I thought that was kind of something that I appreciated about it too. But I thought it was hilarious. And then there's a lot of Beethoven stuff going on here too. I like that. It's just really quirky, really unique. I'm trying to remember. There's like a girl who spits. There's one who can mimic voices. There's like a carousel. There's like a swimming pool. It's just so weird and so bizarre. It has reversible artwork. I kind of like that artwork better, but this one represents the title better with the bold R100. But I think that one looks cooler. And you can see his face like peeking out right there in between the fishnet legs. But yeah, so it was just an absurd movie and a really good release though from Draft House Films. But I loved it. I thought it was one of the more unique movies I've seen in a long time, and I appreciate that. I like weird offbeat movies sometimes. And R100 is a Japanese movie, and I've seen a bunch of Japanese movies with really crazy themes and dark, crazy humor and horror movies and all kinds of really unique, ridiculous, absurd, over-the-top stuff, but I dig it. And let me know what your favorite Japanese movie is, and if you have a favorite crazy Japanese movie too. Next up is Prince of Darkness. I picked this up on Amazon for really cheap, cheaper than Shout Factory had it on their sales recently. It didn't have the slipcover, so if anybody has the slipcover and is willing to trade or sell it, let me know. And Scream Factory, they put out a lot of great releases, but they are also should be renamed Re-Release Factory because they're just re-releasing tons of movies that already have decent Blu-ray releases. And even they re-release their own ones. Like they have a whole line of steelbooks Like, for instance, this has another steelbook coming out, or I think it already has come out, and I thought the artwork for that looked terrible. Most of the ones I didn't really care for the artwork for their steelbooks, especially their intro line. It looked like just cheap computer graphics on there. But this is a great film, and I love that artwork choice. It's been a while since I've seen it. I remember they find there's like a group of graduate students. They're in a church, an abandoned church, and they find this canister in the basement, and they open it up, and it releases like a evil force. And I know Alice Cooper has a small role in here. Donald Pleasance is in here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to revisit this one. It's been a while, but I remember really enjoying the heck out of it. I want the slipcover. I know a lot of people don't care about it, but for me, especially, there's a big slipcover market for Scream Factory ones. I see a lot of times the slipcover going for more than the actual movie, which is crazy to me. But if I know it has a slipcover and I don't have it on there, it just feels naked and incomplete without it. But I'll go ahead and show you. There's the disc artwork, and then there is the old school artwork right there. Next up is Animal. This one had the slipcover. I'm happy about that one. This movie was better than I was expecting to be. I love the creature effect. It's basically a group of friends going camping in the woods, and it's kind of like an eco-horror in a way. And there's this creature in there killing people, and they hide in this abandoned house, and they're trying to escape and fight to survive. I didn't really care for the ending. I felt like that was they could have done a little bit better with that. But it had good suspense and atmosphere, and of course there's, with any kind of, no matter what it is, post-apocalyptic, zombie, infected, creature, monster like this, creature feature kind of thing. One of the biggest issues is not just fighting the other force off, it's also a battle between humanity. So there's going to be at least one character like that in here. So that's a given. But yeah, I wish that the ending was a little bit better, but I still enjoyed this one. And there we go. Check out to see. It does have reversible artwork as well, which I'm not a big fan of that artwork, but still decent, worth checking out. I don't know. I would rate it probably about a 7. I think I'll keep it in my collection because the main draw is the creature. The characters could have been better, and the ending could have been better, but the creature was awesome. And a good atmosphere and suspense in there. Next up is Predestination. This has been on my wish list for a while. It was pretty cheap. And I enjoy the heck out of this one. One of the better recent time travel movies. Ethan Hawke and Sarah Snook really shine. I like Sarah Snook a lot. I saw her way back in a rom-com Australian movie, which I wasn't a fan of. Then she was in another one, like a kind of a apocalyptic one, which was pretty good. She had a small role there. She was in a horror movie called Jezebel here in the U.S., but she's been in a bunch of stuff recently in the U.S. as well. Really good actress. I'm a big fan of her. But Ethan Hawke is awesome, and he plays this it's called Temporal Agent. He's basically kind of like a time travel police officer kind of deal, and he's trying to recruit his younger self, and also trying to stop this one criminal who's, I think, like a bomber, because he's the only one that he's been able to elude him. And I love the whole twist and how it plays out and how it comes together. I thought that was awesome. But yeah, really good time travel movie. And there's always kind of, continuity, inconsistencies with any kind of time travel movie, so you kind of have to put that off to the side. But really enjoy the heck out of it. And I think I was waiting to get the steelbook over there to the UK because I think it was region free, but I didn't like the back artwork choice. Or maybe it was the front. One of the artwork choices, either the front or the back, I wasn't a fan of for it. And plus now I'm kind of like not as big into the steelbooks as I used to be. I feel like they release steelbooks, especially over in the UK, for like everything. But I'm a little bit pickier and choosier when it comes to getting steelbooks, and I like this artwork choice better than the artwork choice that they had on their release for it. So there you go, Predestination on Blu-ray. I would highly recommend the heck out of this one. Great sci-fi drama elements going on, action elements going on too, but strong lead performances, good plot. Next up is Love and Basketball. This is another one I've had on my wish list for a while. I got rid of the DVD to upgrade for the Blu-ray. This is one I remember loving when I was younger because I played basketball and I dated a girl who played basketball, so I don't know, at the time it was, kind of pertinent, and I rewatched it now. I still enjoy it, but it didn't quite live up to my memory of it. And one thing that I remember too, Omar Epps plays a character of Quincy, and he's often called Q in this movie, and he had the same name, Q, in Juice. So that was something that kind of stuck out to me. And then Sanaa Lathan, who's really good too. And this is directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, who also directed Sanaa Lathan and Wesley Snipes in a movie called Disappearing Act, which I think needs a Blu-ray release too. I don't even know if that has a DVD release actually. But I thought that was a pretty decent one. But this is a really good kind of romance drama film. A lot of special features in here. And this is pivotal on the basketball aspect. They show them progressing from when they're little kids, when they first meet. She moves in nearby, and they play basketball, and they show them progressing from high school and then going to college. They both go to UCLA, and they play on the basketball team there, and it kind of shows how their lives go in a different direction and how their passion for basketball changes, and their love as well for each other kind of changes. And I love the ending of this movie, how it plays out. They had great chemistry as well, and I'm a big fan of both of them, Omar Epps and Sanaa Lathan. So yeah, this is one that I've been meaning to pick up for a while. Very happy to add it to the collection. Next up is a DVD release that desperately needs a Blu-ray release. One of my favorite rom-coms. I love the heck out of this one. I remember watching this all the time as a kid. This is tons of nostalgia for me. This was like an add-on item on Amazon, so it was dirt cheap. This was produced by John Hughes, and this is directed by Howard Deutsch, who his directorial debut was Pretty in Pink. So that's a pretty strong debut. And he also did Great Outdoors, Grumpy Old Man, Odd Couple 2. So a couple sequels and a couple great, really great films. John worked with John Hughes a bunch too, and Some Kind of Wonderful. I think it's kind of an underrated one. I don't hear enough people talking about this one. It's basically a high school romance kind of movie. Eric Stoltz is basically in love with Leah Thompson's character, Amanda Jones, Little Miss Amanda Jones. And then Mary Stuart Masterson's character, Watts, is in love with him. So it's kind of like a love triangle right there. And I love the way that it plays out. And I love the scene at the party with Craig Sheffer when she slaps him in the face. And then I love Elias Koteas in here, Duncan. I thought he was such an awesome character, kind of like the skinhead character, but basically becomes friends with Eric Stoltz's character. And I love that when they're at the party together too, and he brings his friends. And I can't wait to check out the special features in here too. You've got commentary with director Howard Deutsch, and then Leah Thompson, your making of, meet the cast, the music, a whole bunch of other stuff. John Hughes time capsule. So awesome. John Hughes ruled that time period essentially. But definitely looking forward to revisiting this one and checking out the special features. Love the heck out of it. Definitely needs a Blu-ray release. And this is the special collector's edition. I know it has a couple releases on DVD. Next up is Truth or Die. I hadn't heard about this one. This was another one that was dirt cheap. Bloody Disgusting Selects. And I decided to take a chance on it. It's a British horror movie. It's a little contrived. I have certain little issues for it here and there, especially basically this one kid is picked on, and all the people who were picking on him at this party, this group of friends, they get invited to his birthday party, and they decide to go because his family is rich, and they want to check out the big mansion and hang out there, even though they were picking on him. That whole idea seems kind of crazy to me too. So they go there, and they find out it's very different than what they expected. The kid himself isn't there, and his brother's there, and they basically are held hostage, and kind of a revenge tale, and they're playing this game of truth or dare to find out, who mistreated the brother, and it's very, it's a violent kind of thing going on. You could say it's a torture porn kind of thing going too, with that whole idea, the theme, but the ending with the one character with the girl, and that is like, I like that they really took a weird turn and risk with that, but I also like, how wouldn't just be okay with that being filmed? And I don't know, that whole part kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, what? But I like how crazy certain characters are. It does have its faults, but I still think it is worth checking out, especially if you're into kind of the hostage, revenge kind of horror movies, where it plays up a lot of the dramatics as well. I think the characters are decently well fleshed out, and I think that's something for the driving force. You really start to hate certain characters and root for certain things to happen. But so there you go, a Truth or Die. I want to see them do more of those, like the After Dark and all the, Bloody Disgusting Selects, all that kind of stuff. I want to see more, like, indie horror and stuff like that being put out like that, like they used to be. I want to see some Blu-ray releases for them too. So there you go. Those are the 7 pickups. If you've seen any of them, definitely let me know what you think of them, and let me know what is your favorite from this haul. Leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.